Georgia starting linebacker Smael Mondon was arrested by Athens Clarke County Police Wednesday night on charges of speeding and reckless driving. One day earlier, freshman offensive lineman Bo Hughley was arrested on similar charges. This is the 19th arrest. They're now at 19 arrests since January of 2023 after the horrific incident with Jalen Carter that got 2 teammates killed because of drag racing. Even crazier. Are you ready for this, Dave?
I'm ready.
Kirby Smart had somebody go speak to the team on Tuesday about these issues and why they need to be smarter on the road with their traffic. And literally that night, Bo Hughley got arrested, and the next day, Smael Mondon got arrested.
It's too late. And it could end up being the Achilles heel of Kirby Smart. You cannot add discipline where there was not discipline. You can't go backwards. You can loosen up. You can be too much of a dictator and back off. You can't go the other way. So they're not listening to him, what he's saying about cars. And if a couple of major incidents happen like have already happened, this could be his undoing. This could be the early stages of a problem. And it's already a problem.
Early stages.
It's already a problem of a problem that causes you a job. So, and I want to do this too, because we have a lot of Tennessee fans. We have a lot of South Carolina fans, a lot of LSU fans. We have a lot of different fans. But if you're a Georgia fan and you want to respond to this and tell me that this isn't a major deal, and you want to tell me that, he was only 0.08 or something like that, and you've got all these excuses, I will give you my word over the weekend. I will respond to every rational reason that you can possibly make that this program doesn't have a serious problem when it comes to cars, when it comes to vehicles. And I don't know how it goes away, Caleb.
Here's what's weird about it. So the Jalen Carter thing happened obviously after he was leaving Georgia. So I never really put that on Kirby Smart. It was kind of like there were a couple of incidents Tennessee related by players once they were professionals. I couldn't hold Philip Fulmer accountable for that. And
if it's a collection, I would argue that
I was getting there.
Okay,
I was getting there.
Sorry.
Since then, there has been a rash of traffic incidents. Now I want to be clear, they're all like misdemeanor types where, Dave, if it was 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, like you wouldn't kick a player off a team for any of these incidents that any of them got into. It was them being like, it's one of those, Josh Pate said it best. You ever been outside, like in a parking lot out of a movie theater or something like that, and you see somebody doing something stupid in the parking lot, and you're like, that was dumb, and then the cops pull them over? Like, that's really what we're seeing with these Georgia players. That's the type of traffic incidents they're getting into since that horrifically fatal one back involving Jalen Carter in January of 2023.
Can I read Moondrop's Beauty, her post real quick? If you respect your coach and your school, then these things don't happen. Kirby clearly has a big discipline issue.
But wait, that's where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to ask this question, Dave. Is it a discipline issue in the sense that what is Kirby Smart supposed to do if he has a set of rules of, okay, this tiny minor violation, I'm not going to punish you too heavily, because we would all agree you shouldn't punish somebody too heavily for that. But if it keeps happening, do you change your punishments? Even if it's a mild violation? If players keep doing it, do you have to say, I'm going to get harder on this now? Because can you get harder on it when you weren't harder on it before?
I don't think you can. And I think ultimately, okay, you said Jalen Carter, that incident happened after the fact.
It happened after the national title. And he was gone. Everybody knew he was gone.
Okay, right. So, but are you telling me that Kirby Smart had no idea that Jalen Carter was a little bit wild and that some of his players were doing some crazy stuff? Because if he did, if he had no idea, he should have.
So you're saying Kirby Smart was letting other things happen and get by that we don't know about?
Yes.
And that's what's letting this boil over the way it has. That's what you're saying.
Well, and my other claim is Jalen Carter can play. So if Carson Beck gets a DUI tomorrow, do you think he's going to miss a significant game at Georgia?
No, but that's the thing. Most of these aren't DUIs. They're people
right. Whatever.
Stupid.
Putting some. I see what you're saying. So now, if Carson Beck gets a reckless driving, you've got Kirby Smart painted in the corner saying, this is my punishment, so that's what you get. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm saying these players are all
Smoky Mountain Red. They're all NIL related cars, and you should really, when you lay your head down at night, say a little prayer and hope that none of it happens to any of Tennessee's football players, because they're getting really fast cars as well. So you got to be responsible, but they have been.
Yeah, this is where my question to you, Dave, is: okay, you're a head coach. You have a philosophy. If a player this type of infraction, what would your punishment be for a player who does reckless driving? Something stupid, reckless driving. Would you say 1 game suspension, 2 game suspension, something like that?
How stupid?
Doing donuts on a road or drag racing somebody at maybe 25 miles over the speed limit or something like that.
Okay. Not that I've done donuts recently, but when I do, that's very safe. Drag racing is far less safe. So drag racing that would be a big bad one for me. That would be a suspension. If you're being a little bit of a hillbilly doing donuts and you get a misdemeanor citation, that would not be a suspension at all.
Okay, how many games would you give for drag racing? Sorry.
1 first time, and then probably 4 second if you did it again.
Okay, here's the problem. I think Kirby Smart has probably a similar level of punishments for those. The problem is they keep happening. If they keep happening, do you change your punishments going down? Not because it's not the same players. It's different players that are doing this.
It's hard, but here's what I would do. Like today, I would say team meeting, be there now. Guys, the rules have changed. This is embarrassing me. I've stuck my neck out for you. I've given you a scholarship. I've made a lot of you into great football players. I've made you a ton of money. And all I'm asking you is to not drive like a jackwagon. Okay? Just don't drive like a jackwagon. And you can't seem to do that. So here's what happens. The new punishment is reckless driving or above, you're suspended for the next game. And you lay down that law and you do never back off of it. And I still don't know that would work, to be real honest with you, because there would be some players that say, it's my car, I'll drive it how I want to. I'm making almost as much as him. Not literally, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, the money has made these players more emboldened. Don't doubt that for a second.
Oh, yes, I totally agree. And I thought
on the other end of the spectrum, think about this. An active player, Brew McCoy, just held a golf tournament as a fundraiser for his own charity. This is a current college player. Think how bizarre that is for a second.
It's wild to think about. Brew is older, though. He's like 22, but I get your point.
But as many as cultured, and he was older because he stayed an extra year, Peyton Manning, as many great things as he did, he wasn't putting together golf tournaments in the offseason.
No, he wasn't. Is this how it was with Fulmer, or did Fulmer let more significant things slide than just a couple of traffic accidents, a bunch of misdemeanors?
More significant. It was far
more
worse.
Significant.
Yeah, you're not even. I don't think you're in the same ballpark if you're a Georgia fan right now as you were a Tennessee fan at that point.
Because I do remember the all season before 2005, there were 18 arrests or something like that, and the rock bottom, for those who don't remember, for Philip Fulmer, and it was right before he got fired. The rock bottom was when Britton Colquitt got drunk, crashed into a tree, fled the scene of an accident, and Fulmer let him back on the team.
Suspended him for 4 games, which was an odd suspension, remember?
Yeah, he did. He suspended him for 4 games and then let him back on the team. Then it was just like, you can't.
That might have been rock bottom, but to me, the most nefarious thing was meeting with a alleged victim at a restaurant the morning after she had been supposedly assaulted by a football player.
He did that?
That's something you can't do. I mean, that could have blown up. That could have got bad. And that's when that's when I think Philip started to think he was a little bit bigger than.
That's really bad. Yeah, that's
tampering the witness. That could have easily been a felony.
I'm going to be fair to Kirby Smart on this too. I think Kirby Smart is going to try to get it back. I think Kirby Smart does care to a certain degree. Again, these are all misdemeanors, are not significant yet outside of the Jalen Carter thing, and Jalen Carter was gone from Georgia after that happened. Kirby Smart doesn't strike me as the type that would run from this the way Urban Meyer did. Does he strike you as that? Because Urban Meyer let the program go into hell in a handbasket and just bolted.
no, yeah, Kirby seems like the guy that would like claw to hang on, even if it was bad for his health, his marital relationship, the program. He seems like the guy. I'm gonna get this right. Yes, he does.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So I think Kirby Smart is definitely going to stick with this. He loves Georgia. And also, I think Kirby, I know that Kirby has dealt with in the past, he has some, family issues and things like that he's clawed his way out of. So I think he can deal. He's more equipped to deal with something like this than a lot of other coaches. I'll say that in Kirby Smart's favor. Urban Meyer,
family issues. Is this something that we know that's public knowledge, or?
I don't really want to get into it fully.
Okay.
I just know that there's just things he deals with personally.
I tend to agree with Moon Drops Beauty. She says UGA is too far past at this point, Dave. Kirby waited too long. These are young men, kids, still really.
But guys, he's letting him get away with misdemeanor, stupid traffic things. He's not letting him commit double murders the way Urban Meyer did Aaron Hernandez.
Allegedly.